Hello, gamers, and welcome to the Thornier channel. And today, we're gonna be doing a kind of different thing that I don't usually do, but I've seen a few other people do it, and a few of my friends do this as well. We're gonna be doing your Marvel Rivals main green flag, yellow flag, red flag. So basically, we're vibe checking you on your main or favorite character in Marvel Rivals. So, are you ready to check the vibe? We're gonna go ahead and start off with our tanks first, then our DPS, and then the support players. Gosh. Green flag. We'll start off good. We'll do Captain America as a green flag. I haven't seen that many Captain America mains. That's it. I haven't seen a lot of them, but the ones I have seen, they're not bad. They're just kind of there. They want to be like typing in chat for freedom, kind of running around, kind of throwing their shield. Their ultimate's nice. It's like a little like support ult with the over shield. So they're like unintentionally thinking about your team by just playing Captain America, which is like kind of nice, you know? It's like, hey, nice, thank you for looking out for me, even though you probably didn't want to, but you know. And some of them can be really good. They can really help disrupt the fight by diving the back line and making it hard for supports to heal, while the other tank, if you're lucky to have another one, just like wrecks crap up in front. So it's kind of nice having one. The next green flag is a Hulk main. Hulk main, just smash. Hulk smash. Smash. Hulk smash. Hulk smash. Hulk and smash. Hulk is smashing. Yeah, Hulk is smashing. Let's smash. Let Hulk smash. And Hulk smash. Very poetic. Groot. A yellow flag. I would say Groot's a yellow flag. Groot was kind of charming at first in season 0, and you got the people just being like, typing in chat, I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. I am Groot. 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 Like a Pokemon, you know? And you know, they weren't very good. Now it's like you see a Groot and you're like, oh. Now it's like you're playing against like 2 tanks and 1 character, and he just makes tanking not fun because he makes it where you have to rely on your DPS to shoot walls down, because other tanks can't break them down as fast as a DPS quickly shooting it. So you know, kind of a yellow flag. I would say not super good. Another green flag, Venom. Ever since the twerking emote was added, Venom mains have gone from scarce to plentiful. Venom is fun. Venom is cool. Venom's got a 9-inch. I mean, Venom. Venom is cool. I like the emote. I like playing Venom. I'm a Venom main. Well, at the start, I'm main Hulk now, but I think. No, Venom, Hulk, and the Thing are my mains for the tanks. I just love their playstyle. They're all really fun. Venom is awesome. I love how you can swing on the web, and he's really good at diving the back line. He's really good at hitting headshots if you're good with him. It takes a while of practice, you know, but he's fun to play. He's very fun. Having a Venom on your team is kind of a 50-50. As long as he's doing his job, he really helps the team fight. But if he's not, you know, he's not doing that much damage, you know, it's like you can get a different kind of tank up in there. But another green flag, the Thing. The Thing has been so fun since that character has come out. I think he's been probably like the best tank. He has his weaknesses. He's like a very honest character. You know you're gonna get punched if you're in his range. You don't want to be in his range. And he's not very fast, so he can't like. He's better at defending when the enemy can go to you. But if you're not going to him and he has to go to you, he's kind of harder to play. It's kind of like that. He's got no kind of like overshield unless you get the Susan Storm. You know? No, this... Fantastic. The Invisible Woman. on the team, so he gets a little bit of overshield, helps him out a little bit. But you know, hey, he's a big target. He gets burst down so quickly if you're not playing corners and playing natural cover, and you know. But I think he's probably one of the best tanks in the game right now. He does a buttload of damage. You can feel the impact you're making on the game by just playing the character if you're good with him. Red flag, Penny Parker, our first red flag. Penny Parker mains, they rely on season 0 tactics, and you know, it's not the best. Like, unfortunately though, I'm still getting games where Penny Parkers can still spam the mines up in the front and then get people to walk into them. I'm sad that that still happens, but it does. And every Penny Parker I've ever interacted with has been either a person that mains support or a DPS main, like pretending like they can play tank and play Penny Parker, but they don't know where to position the mines, and then they get toxic really, really quickly. Penny Parker mains are high likely of probably calling you trash, or, you know, just being mean in general. The high likelihood of that happening. Doctor Strange mains, yellow flag. You are either playing for silly portals, or you're playing because at one point he was the meta, and you think that he's still the meta, but he's not anymore. But you still play him thinking that he was the thing that he once was. He's a yellow flag. Some Doctor Stranges are really nice. You know, when you have a Doctor Strange on your team, you're not going, oh man, a Doctor Strange, I can't believe this. This is unbelievable. I don't want this thing on my team. The only time I'm saying that is if they have a thing and the Doctor Strange is holding barrier up while getting absolutely penetrated by the thing, and it's like, why are you holding your barrier when the thing can punch through it? Press shift, fly away. Why are you standing there? Don't stand there. Just kind of like stuff like that. It's like they make me want to hit my head against the wall. Thor, yellow flag as well. It feels like a lot of DPS players play Thor, because every Thor I come in contact with is very angry all the time. And some of them are really good. Like, I've met one really cool Thor, and he went like 40 and something. Like, he got 40 kills at the end of the game, like when we were playing comp, and it was awesome. The guy was really, really good with Thor, and he was really dope and nice. But that's not the common. I'm talking about the average here. The average Thor, kind of toxic, kind of mean. They're like a little bit sus, and you know, oftentimes they don't know how to play their own character, so they press their E without, you know, having anybody next to them to actually get the benefit of doing the combo where you can get a free 3 hammers and then start throwing lightning again. So they don't know how to do that, and then they engage with their shift, and then it's on cooldown, and then they just get burst down instead of, you know, displacing targets in the middle of the fight. And you know, it's just like, it's a 50-50 gamble on whether, you know, your Thor main is knowing what they're gonna do. But one thing that you can guarantee from a Thor main, just don't tell them to swap. Just try to pick around them with the buffs. Pick Storm, maybe go like Thor and Cap, and just like try to help. But or Thor and Magneto. Speaking of Magneto, red flag. They're the meta main. They're only playing this character because the character is good in every way, shape, form, any situation, any kind of comp meta. It's like if Sigma and Zarya had a cursed child, Magneto would come out, because he's got the barriers and bubbles that, and the damage. Super cool character. I like the character. Don't like the player base. Every Magneto I've ever come in contact with has been kind of toxic, and always the first person to yell at somebody to swap. They like to take charge. That's okay. You can be in charge. That's cool. But also, like, you know, bro, this is quick play. Let people learn what they want to learn. You know, I know that you're trying to learn mag and stuff, and, you know, but if you're trying to run scrims and quick play, At least try to fill your whole roster full of friends, and then, like, you know, run a stack of, like, a team. And then start yelling at people for swapping. Don't come yelling at me because I want to play Jiff the Shark and quick play and just chill. You know? Okay, now we're on the Black Panther mains. And we'll tie Spider-Man into them as well. Black Panther and Spider-Man, you either get people that really like the characters and want to just play for fun and then, like, enjoy the character. Or you get the hyper-competitive Luna Snow, why didn't you have your little E on me? You threw the game because you didn't have your E on me. Though, that could be the case sometimes because, you know, that E is very strong on flanker characters like Black Panther, like Spider-Man. But they are quick to losing their cool. But also, they are definitely not the worst people out there. They definitely are not. Some of the Spider-Man memes, like the Spider-Man meme that came from that one guy in that chat where he's like, Spider-Man doesn't kill. He went like 0 and 20 and something. Oh my goodness, that's funny. But also, like, I bet that made everybody want to hit their head against the wall super hard and during that match. But yeah. First red flag for DPS, Hawkeye. I don't like you. I don't like how you one-shot. You do too much damage. You're annoying. Play somebody for fun. Not somebody to ruin other people's time. Anyways, Iron Fist. Gosh, he's not good. He was scary. There's like a point where he was really scary because people were like learning the character and he was like doing a lot of damage and really killing the backline. But then whatever buff / nerf they did to him, he's like a tank buster, like Wolverine. Whoops. Didn't mean to rank him yet, but now, like, even none of the Iron Fist players go for the tanks, like the ones that I've encountered. They usually still try to dive the backline and then end up dying because they do percentage damage instead of like flat damage. So they kind of just get burst down or stunned and whacked with a big stick. So, and then that causes them to get angry, you know? And then they start typing in chat being like, oh my goodness, our tank's not doing enough job tanking damage. Meanwhile, their tank has like 80k damage blocked, or like, is that something ridiculous? Because, oh my goodness, yeah, it happens. Moon Knight players are a green flag. The character's not good, but they know they can't aim. But they still want to try to help, you know? They want to try to help do some damage, and they want to do some easy damage, but they just want to help. They know their character's not good. They know that their character's never going to be the pinnacle of the game or anything like that. But they are there to help, and they can do some consistent damage. And sometimes, consistency is what you need! And these Moon Knight players, the ones that I've encountered, aren't going to be the first ones to hop on the mic. They mind their business. They stay in their lane. They probably got too many voices in their head to really yell at anybody else. Yeah. Second red flag, the Punisher main. Do I need to say anything about the Punisher main? I mean, I feel like we all kind of get the vibe with the Punisher main. They're here to just do consistent damage. Ruin other people's times with, like, you know, just shooting them down. They are the first person to start calling people trash more often than not. They are also the first people to yell at other people for them not being able to aim and track people. Yeah, especially if you get like a Groot in a Punisher main and the Groot accidentally puts a wall up in front of a Punisher. Yikes, that's gonna be kind of a time. But your Groot shouldn't be walling your Punisher anyways. But your Punisher should be taking better angles and not leaving the team fight to, like, dive the back line, which I've seen Punishers try to do. I don't know why some Punishers try to dive the back line. Stop. Just fight with the team. It's whatever, you know? It's fine. They are... I would say they definitely are in the red for very likely to be aggressive and call you trash, kind of thing. Wolverine players! Oh gosh. As a tank main, I think they're a red flag. Whenever I see a Wolverine, I know that person does not like tanks. I know they hate the tank player with a passion, and they just want that tank player to suffer and have a bad time. They don't want the tanks to have fun. They want to make them go back to Overwatch and suffer in an even worse place. So yeah, red flag if you're a tank main. If you're a DPS or support, probably a green flag, because you're like, oh my gosh, you're protecting me against the big mean green guy. You're dragging him off the map. Wow, thank you, good sir. But if you're a tank main like me, definitely a red flag. You know what? I guess that makes him a yellow flag. Red flag if you're a tank, green flag if you're a support, yellow flag if you do both, which I do. So I guess he kind of counterbalances himself, because Wolverine players are genuinely some nice people with a passion of hating tanks. So I guess they kind of balance out. They have very extreme sides, and it levels out. That makes sense. Black Widow, red flag. You know they ain't getting kills. I know they ain't getting kills. You know that. I know that. We know that they ain't doing nothing. They're playing that character because they think that character's hot, but lacking the outfits to actually prove a reason why to play the character yet. I mean, look at Sue Storm. Look at Emma Frost coming up. Look at those skins. Play those characters. Why don't you benefit your team, Those skins are pretty hot, and those characters could benefit your team. Why aren't you playing those characters? Emma Frost ain't out yet, but, she's a tank. Don't you want to be a tank, man? So, yeah. Red flag. Mr. Fantastic. I would say Mr. Fantastic's a yellow flag. If you're a tank, if you're a DPS main playing Mr. Fantastic, red flag. If you're a tank main swapping to Mr. Fantastic to play him like a sub tank, green flag. It just is the mentality of the player. Mr. Fantastic's a hard character to guess. I've had some toxic Mr. Fantastics where they were not doing very good, and they didn't understand the fundamentalness of the character, and they got mad, and then they started telling other people to swap when they were the person that needed to swap. But it's like, I mean, we get that you're trying to learn the character, but like, relax, yeah. It happens. It definitely happens. Iron Man. There's a green flag. If you got an Iron Man main on your team, they're gonna be fun. They're gonna be spamming the one thing to make it, Iron Man mains are a green flag. Unless there's a Punisher on the enemy team or other counter flyers, then they quickly become yellow flags, because then it's like if they don't swap, then they're kind of like throwing and then they get mad. But yeah, but no, generally a green flag. They're fun. They're easy to counter. They're just trying to play Iron Man, be Iron Man. Red flag Storm. Storm is one of those characters where you either are really good with them and you're fun to be around, or you do really bad with them and then blame everybody else for not having that Thor team up or that Firestorm team up, and you just start cursing people out because you're not killing the entire team because they just existed for a moment. Because that one time when Storm was buffed really, really heavily and was the best character in the game, that's when you decided to be a Storm main, and now that she's been reeled back and you still play Storm like how you could, and you're not getting away with the same stuff because people can adapt, and you're kind of mad. Magic, green flag. I would say Magic and Star-Lord mains are green flags. These two mains are usually decent fun. Star-Lord mains, play him like a flanker. Both of them, they're fun. They're just nice people to be around. I have no problems with them. Psylocke is a yellow flag though. But let me go ahead and talk about Magic and Star-Lord a little bit longer, because I've had nothing but good interactions with Star-Lord and Magic players. Nothing but good interactions. Their characters are hard to play. Well, Magic is... Star-Lord's pretty decently easy. He's easy to fundamentally grasp, but they're just, I've never had, like... I'm sure there's going to be some after I've said this, and there's mean people out there, but, generally the player base that plays those characters are just playing because They kind of are fun and they're kind of easy to play. So, you know, hey. Bucky mains. Red flag. Bucky mains I have seen blow up because they don't get everything they want. Bucky mains want a Magneto. They want both supports to basically bend to their will, so that way they can get that TikTok 20-man ultimate where it's just again. You know, they just want that. They want everybody to bend to their will, and sometimes they have the strength to do it, and sometimes they don't. Either or, it could be either a good time or it's going to be a very bad time. Just depending on the Bucky mentality. Most Buckies I've ran into, though, it's been the latter, and they are slightly crazy. Like someone's went into their mind and brainwashed them to do things that they shouldn't be doing. Anyways, Hela. Hela is also a red flag. Just like, I know like a lot of the meta pick characters are red flags, but they're red flags for reasons. It's because they're anti-fun characters. You're picking Hela because you're good at aiming and you want to win. Screw everything else. You are dedicated to the win. There is no other reason why. You just want to win and be the winner. Okay? That's it. That's all you want to do. That's okay. I'm not blaming you for that. Nobody's blaming you. But man, you're as fun as a salted bread slice. No flavor, just bread. Aquaman / Namor, yellow flag. Like the green flag aspects is if they got really good like divers and you need somebody to counter dive. Like the Namor Emma Frost combo is really good against counter dive. But they also require extra stuff to really be effective against dive. Sometimes Namors are really, really good, and sometimes Namors can't aim for crap. Yeah, so it's just kind of like risky. Squirrel Girl mains! They're green flags. Squirrel Girl mains, I've never seen one. They're like the mythical unicorn, you know? I believe a lot of people believe that they main Squirrel Girl, they're a red flag because she's thick, and because being thick in a video game is a crime. But I don't think it's a crime to be thick in a video game. I think everybody should be thick. So yeah, I think it's a green flag. Green flag. Firestorm. Honestly, I haven't seen a lot of the main him. From what I've gathered, though, he's alright. Nothing bad about him. I wouldn't say he's a green flag just yet because he hasn't been, you know, I haven't had that many encounters with him. And people are only playing him to pair him with Storm, and that would make Storm more of the red flag, not Johnny Storm. The red flag. So I'm just gonna leave him in the yellow. They're just quiet people. They're just playing the character because they want to learn the character, but they also like fire. They're pyromaniacs. There you go. Scarlet Witch. Yellow flag. Yellow flag leaning red. They could be a orange flag. If I had an orange, they'd be there. But I'm gonna leave them in yellow because they got some redeeming qualities for fun. If you got a Scarlet Witch that wants to combo ults, that's a green flag. If you got a Scarlet Witch that wants you to support them no matter what they're doing, even though it's super stupid, that's a red flag. That is the reddest flag because they aren't doing damage. Cloak does more damage just by sucking. Yeah, so you gotta be careful. If the Scarlet Witch is like, yo, I just want to play this character because I want to like do alt combos, can you go Doctor Strange or Jeff the Shark or Groot? Then it's like, I get you. I don't know if we're gonna be able to pull it off because we might not have that timing because I just met you in under 5 minutes. But hey, we'll try. It'll be fun. But yeah, you know, Loki mains. Green flag. they're there to pick up the slack on the damage part, and they want to help by becoming a third support. You know, it's honestly nice having a Loki, like a decent Loki on the team. It's really nice because they can really dominate a game. I'm not biased because I main Loki and I've dominated games as Loki. I might be a little bit biased, but yeah. Jet the Shark, for a main, that's a yellow flag. If you got a Jeff the Shark that wants the combos with like the characters and like they want to do cool setups and stuff, like that's cool. But if you're Jeff the Shark and you have no Luna Snow combo, no alt combo that he can go with, hate to say it, but you might be throwing just a little bit. Luna Snow. Ugh. Honestly, yellow flag. I can't make up my mind. Luna Snow players, season 0 before Cloak and Dagger were good, would probably be red flag. But since I'm gonna just put Cloak and Dagger in the red flag area because they're always mean. But Luna Snow players are just as mean and just as willing to talk trash. And yeah. Adam Warlock mains are interesting breeds. Some of them are insanely good. Some of them are not. Some of them are too good at this game and are getting the character nerfed single-handedly because they are too good with the character. Yeah. So, they're just, you know, but it's not bad having one on the team if they know what they're doing and they know how to rotate their abilities so that way you don't run out of healing. I would say Sue Storm is also a green flag. Never a problem whenever there's one on the team. Same with Mantis. Mantis is also a green flag. I'm gonna put Rocket in red though, because our Rocket players have thrown so many games. It's unbelievable. But yeah, well, I thought a lot more supports would be. No, well, actually, yeah, no, I like Invisible Woman mains. They're just nice. I guess that kind of wraps up the video. So there we are. We got your green flags, your red flags, your blue flags, and your purple flags. So there you go. We got them all rated. So if you agree with my list, make sure you leave a comment down below. If you don't, then also leave a comment. Tell me where your green and red flags. I guess this is all kind of personal opinions, right? Because it's just your experiences in the matches with like the people that play the characters the most. Like, what do you remember from these characters the most? And do you remember good things about the characters, or do you remember bad things about the characters? Who knows? But other than that, this is Thorn's List, and I'm out.